Why don't we just nail it right from the beginning? NGC6900 is a galaxy in Aquila the Eagle, magnitude 14, 1 by 0.8 arc minutes. So basically that magnitude 14 is likely, looking at it right now, is likely going to prove out to be blue-violet. 230 million light years distant, puts it at about 70,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 21 minutes, 35 seconds, with a declination -2 degrees, 34 minutes and 12 seconds. I'll center it up on the screen. This is our 150x view, and I think that's as far as I need to push it. You can see the core of this face-on, relatively face-on, spiral with a lowercase b, a galaxy. So there's our look at NGC 6900. Okay, here's our 60x35 arc-minute field view of NGC 6901, another galaxy in Aquila, but slightly further north by about 8 degrees. It's magnitude 13.7, 1.1 by 0.4 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab, so it's got 2 spiral arms and it's 1.5 times removed from lenticular. Says it's magnitude 13.7. There's a good possibility that is optical, but if it isn't, it's probably somewhere around 12.9. 216 million light years distant, puts it at about 70,000 light years in diameter, with a right ascension of 20, 22, 21, and a declination of +6 degrees, 25 minutes, 47 seconds. And to reinitialize everything. Oh, boy, those galaxies look good against a really bright background, but that only shows them with a lot of texture and detail, but we also want to compromise out a little bit the purely aesthetic function. Let's stay with this for the time being. All right, let's see if these stars get distended. I've got 5 stacks and none ignored, but I've had a good information like that before, but it looks like it's doing pretty good. I did have to restart the computer. That meant rebooting the app and everything else. That was, once again, 6901, Galaxy at Aquila. I gave you all the information on the previous pass. All right, we swung a bit far south into Capricornus. NGC 6903, it's a bit later than I originally intended. It's 8:40. I had some problems with cabling and I had to redo scope alignment a little bit. NGC 6903, Galaxy in Capricornus, magnitude 11.9, 2.6 by 2.4 arc minutes, quite large. I'd like to bring out a bit more, but it's a bit south. It's also got entangled with a brightest star, probably somewhere around 10th magnitude. It's a lenticular spiral with a bar, 148 million light years distant. So this one's probably almost as large as Messier 31. About 150,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 23 minutes, 44 seconds, and a declination of -19 degrees, 19 minutes, 31 seconds. And it looks like, given the delays I've had, we are now in culmination. By the way, this is a view darkening up the background sky and pumping up the magnification to full resolution, which is 240x, backing it out to 150, and just filling the field at 90x with that view. Now that we've gone further north, it's an interesting extension over here off this star. The background sky has gotten incredibly dark for this planetary nebula. I'll brighten it up just a little bit. NGC 6905 Planetary Nebula in Delphinus, magnitude 12, fairly large, 44 by 38 arc seconds, with a magnitude 14 central star, 5,700 light years distant. We're doing some zoomage. We're up to 150x, got that characteristic aqua blue appearance. We're at right ascension, 20 hours, 22 minutes, 23 seconds. And a declination of +20 degrees, 6 minutes and 16 seconds. What a very nice view of NGC 6905. We're now on to NGC6900, a galaxy in Aquila. It's a 2-to-1 aspect ratio, magnitude 12.3, 1.6 by 0.8 arc minute, oblate galaxy, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, has quite a nice condensed core. 219 million light years distant, puts it at about the same size as our own Milky Way, somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 2023 with a declination of plus 6 degrees, 26 minutes, and 37 seconds. Here's a nice view. Let's check out. This is the 150x view. Very, very nice. I wonder if that might be a star instead of its core. Looks like the core. All right, we're now having a view of NGC6900, a galaxy in Aquila. Magnitude 13.1, 1.5 by 0.9 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase ab, meaning it has multiple spiral arms. 256 million light years distant, puts it about 100,000 light years in diameter. Light ascension 20 hours, 27 minutes, 46 seconds, and a declination just shy of the celestial equator, minus 3 degrees, 4 minutes, 37 seconds. Okay, here we have a nice faintish galaxy, NGC 6917. It's in Delphinus. Magnitude 14.5, so that's going to no doubt be its blue violet. Magnitude 1.4 by 1 arc minute. Spiral with peculiarities, 214 million light years distant, maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 27 minutes, 28 seconds with a declination of plus 8 degrees, 5 minutes, 51 seconds. Since it's the spiral peculiarities, I imagine it's probably more around 13.8 visual magnitude. Okay, we've now got a galaxy in Vulpecula the Fox, magnitude 13.4. Small, but a nice aspect ratio, over 4 to 1, 0.9 by 0.2 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase a, multiple spiral arms, it's very close to the lenticular class. 195 million light years distant, probably about 60,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 28 minutes, 28 seconds. It's got a neighboring fainter edge-on galaxy quite close to it, probably about a magnitude difference between them. We're at plus 25 degrees, 43 minutes, and 24 seconds. We are now, well, our scope is about as high up as it can get, 25 degrees without being blocked. This galaxy would appear to be, let's see, this is north. I think this is going to be east. So this galaxy would probably turn up as part of our viewing of the evening. However, I may only cite its data because we've already had a good look at it. 25 degrees north. Well, folks, I couldn't resist this. This is a deep south galaxy in microscopium. NGC 6925, magnitude 11.3, 4.4 by 1.1 arc minutes. Wow. Spiral with lowercase bc, so 2.5 times removed from lenticular. Has a brilliant core, though. 130 million light years distant means it's about as large as Messier 31. We're at 20 hours, 34 minutes, 20 seconds with a declination of minus 31 degrees, 58 minutes, 50 seconds. Well done, scope, because the last time I put you that deep, you got all messed up mechanically, and I had to redo. That happened this very evening. Okay, what we have here is very intriguing. This galaxy here is NGC 6927. It's a galaxy in Delphinus. Magnitude 14.5, 0.5 by 0.2 arc minutes. Kind of find that hard to believe that it's only that small. But this is where the scope turned to. It's magnitude 14.5, as I said. It's a lenticular spiral, and there's some nice sense of this spiral-esque arms of the galaxy. It's a lenticular at 201 million light years distance, so fairly small, maybe about 30,000 light years in diameter. Hard for me to believe that. I bet you that this is our real galaxy here, and this is an even brighter one there. There are 3 galaxies in this field. We're going to look at the one I zoned in on is NGC 6927A, which I believe is probably this galaxy. And I am going to allow it to reestablish itself. But let me tell you some data on it. 6927A is a galaxy in Delphinus, magnitude 16.5, 0.3 by 0.1 arc minutes. Let me go ahead and run this again. I believe this will be 6927A, but it could be this one as well. But when we back out, we get a sense of where things have been turning up, and mostly they've been right about there. So this is a really interesting galaxy group. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it looks like there may be a little taggy one right there. Anyway, it's an elliptical 6. So what we should be looking for is an elliptical 6. And it could be anything here. Maybe this one. Right ascension 20 hours, 32 minutes, 36 seconds. Plus 9 degrees, 52 minutes, 58 seconds. It'll be interesting to read Steve Gottlieb's description of this region of NGC 6927 in adventuresindeepspace.com, so we can sort through these galaxies. But this looks like the most likely candidate to be an elliptical. Okay, it's pretty clear now that this is NGC 6928. And it makes sense because this is a magnitude 12.2 galaxy, 2.1 by 0.6 arc minutes in size. Really important to pay attention to those apparent sizes and types of galaxies to really be able to distinguish them as well as their magnitudes. It's a spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab. 213 million light years distant, probably puts it about 120,000 light years in diameter. This is a beautiful galaxy group with lots of diversity in it and will warrant some reading on Steve Gottlieb's site. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 32 minutes, 50 seconds with a declination of plus 9 degrees, 55 minutes, 37 seconds. Let's pump up the magnification to at least 150 to get a more detailed view. Very nice and very faint galaxies. You might also like to go to theskylive.com in order to see a digitized deep sky survey image taken back during the late 40s and early 50s, which captures a lot of these on photographic plates of 30 arc minutes in size. Okay, we've tracked down another galaxy in this series. It's NGC 6930. And it's probably this one here. It's a magnitude 12.8, 1.2 by 0.5 arc minute, spiral with bar and a lowercase ab. 212 million light years distance, probably about 70,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension 20, 32, 58, plus 9 degrees, 52 minutes, and 27 seconds. All right, now we're off to a globular cluster in Delphinus. NGC 6934 is magnitude 8.9, 7 arc minutes with stars that are as bright as magnitude 13.8. Hard to believe that Messier and Messiaen missed this one. It's a class 8, 50,000 light years distant. Right ascension 20, 34, 11, declination 7 degrees, 24 minutes, 16 seconds. We'll do an average brightness on it. We're getting distension just to see what size scope would have turned it up. Okay, here's a better view at magnification. Let's go to 150x. I've reestablished it. Let's see if we also get distended stars. Could be due to me being in motion here in the observatory. I'm trying to be still, but it's always a challenge. We got 2 stacks down. None have been ignored, so this is stack 3. Very nice globular cluster. Got to be skipping along now. We're up to about 15 minutes or so in this video. All right, the fact that there were a lot of nice galaxies we cannot see in Cepheus leads us up to NGC 6955, galaxy in Delphinus. Kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Magnitude 13.6, face on 1.4 by 1.4, Arc minutes by with a lowercase bc, 365 million light years distant, puts this at about 140,000 light years in diameter. There's our view centered up. Okay, here we're having a view of a nice galaxy, NGC6956 in Delphinus, near that very bright star. Got a decent core to it. A spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 211 million light years distant, puts it about 130,000 light years in diameter. RA 204353 with a deck of plus 1230 minutes and 41 seconds. Here we're having a nice view of galaxy NGC6962 in Aquarius. It's magnitude 12.1, pretty large for a 12th magnitude galaxy, 2.9 by 2.2 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar and lowercase ab, 191 million light years distant, puts it about 140,000 light years in diameter. Right up there with Messier 31, right ascension 20 hours, 47 minutes, 19 seconds. Pretty much right on the celestial equator at 0 degrees, 19 minutes and 14 seconds. Let's do a little bit of zoomage here. You can see it has a very bright mate, plus others in the same field. They may very well be part of a galaxy group. In the galaxy 6969, this is a galaxy in Delphinus. Fairly small. Magnitude 14 or less, 1.1 by 0.3 arc minutes. One of my favorite when it gets down close to 4:1 aspect ratios. This is an SA galaxy, so only once removed, probably got about a 0.8 delta between magnitude 14 and blue violet, and it's probably about 13.2 in visual light. Generally speaking, anything in the 14th magnitude range is probably reported based on blue violet. And so it's going to be brighter, the visual. We're at right ascension 20 hours, 48 minutes, 27 seconds, with a declination of plus 7 degrees, 44 minutes, and 23 seconds. Here we have NGC 6981, a globular cluster in Aquarius. It's magnitude 9.2, 5.9 arc minutes in size with stars. A brightest star is magnitude 14.2. It's a class 9, 55,000 light years distant, kind of irregular in shape. It's at right ascension 20 hours, 53 minutes, 27 seconds with a declination of minus 12 degrees, 32 minutes, and 14 seconds. And no, Messier and Machine did not miss this one because it is also known as Messier 72, fainter than many galaxies in the NGC catalog that they might have discovered had they poked their scope out in that part of space and noticed it. But like I said, I will look at the average brightness. Their scope was probably only capable of average brightnesses down to about magnitude 11. Well, we're only getting the slightest hints of the eastern veil. Part of the reason is I'm not using an optolong filter, and most of it is we're getting the obstruction blocked. NGC 6992 is a supernova remnant in Cygnus, magnitude 760 by 8 arc minutes, 1,500 light years distant, right ascension 20 hours, 56 minutes, 19 seconds. And the declination is too far north to give us a good view without blockage, plus 31 degrees, 44 minutes, 36 seconds, but I thought we'd have a look at it anyway. What we're seeing here is something you'd have to look for if you were doing a Messier marathon. It's called NGC 6994, or Messier 73, an open cluster in Aquarius. It was obviously part of an open cluster at one time, but it's more of a 4-star asterism, although it's possible there could be fainter stars than the ones we're seeing here in the region. Anyway, it's bright. The stars are 4 stars of magnitude 10. It's a class 4-1, which means it's indistinguishable from its background, but I find it very distinguishable. And the stars are all roughly the same magnitude, a class 1. 2,000 light years distant, right ascension 20 hours, 58 minutes, 56 seconds, with a declination of minus 12 degrees, 38 minutes, and 7 seconds. Okay, we've just dropped down into microscopium. For NGC6998, we need to wrap. It's a galaxy, 14.92 magnitude, 0.7 by 0.7 arc-minute sized elliptical. Pretty distant, 514 million light years distant. I think it's probably somewhere up there. We're at right ascension 210137, a declination of minus 280154, and I do believe there's another galaxy in this field. Let's check it out and see if it is 6999. And there is a 6999 somewhere in this deep south field in microscopium. Magnitude 14.9 by 0.7 arc-minute lenticular spiral. About the same distance, a little closer, 466 million light years distant, light ascension 210159, minus 28 degrees, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. They both may be in this field of view. I do believe I see a galaxy there. We need something to go out on. How about the NGC224, a galaxy in Andromeda? Its magnitude 3.4, 189 by 61 arc-minutes in size, spiral with a lowercase b, twice removed from the lenticular, 2.5 million light years distant. It's at right ascension 0 hours, 42 minutes, 44 seconds, with a declination of plus 41 degrees, 16 minutes, and 08 seconds. This particular galaxy is the co-regent galaxy of the local group. It may be about the same mass as our own Milky Way. That needs research, however. But anyway, so these two galaxies, our own Messier 30 and 31, NGC224, are in a spiral dance, and eventually they will join together in about 3 billion years. Hopefully, the humanity of the time will come to truly appreciate the wonder of this incredible universe. Carpe Doctor.